Hello everyone, this is Maureen and welcome to My Crochet Story. Today is Sunday, February the 12th, and I'm popping in just to have a little chit chat with you and let you know that I think I found my groove. But before I get to that, let me say welcome in to all of you. You know I always appreciate your time whenever you pop in to see what it is that I'm up to. I always say, just leave me a thumb and be sure to leave me a comment, even if it's just hi. I want to know that you were here. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome into you as well. To you too, I greatly appreciate your time just stopping by to see who I am and what I'm about. I would suggest that you stay through the end of the video, because I do tell you quite a bit of what's going on, at least for the next week. And I'd like to share my ups and downs from the week before. But anyway, if you'll stay to the end, maybe it'll entice you to go look and see all the other content on my channel. And please hit that subscribe button down there in the corner, and then look for that bell with the little hugs on the side, because it'll let you know every time I upload some content. Well, like I said, I think I found my groove, guys. I worked out a calendar of when I wanted things to be uploaded. So for me, you know, sometimes when you have to solve a puzzle, if you can't start at the beginning and solve it, one other technique is to start at the finish and backtrack. And that's exactly what I did, because I wasn't finding a groove. So like I said, that's what I did. Now, all those colors on there, I'm not going to bore you with going through every single one of them, but all those colors represent one particular idea. And so I looked at, when do I want it to show up? So if I want it to show up here, that means I have to film it here and give myself plenty of time, you know, to edit, go back, whatever it is I need to do. Well, if I want to record it here, that means I need to back up and see or project about how long it's going to take me to get that project to the film stage. And I did that, folks, with everything that I schedule or want to schedule. You know, like on Mondays for you to expect a particular thing, Tuesday or Wednesday something else. Now, as I said at the very beginning of the year, is it going to stay like this in stone? Probably not. But, you know, this way I can, when I get to the end of something, I know that, hey, this next thing is going to take me the same amount of time, so I can put it right here in this time slot. So for the time being, I am really sorry, but there is something on my glasses, and I just noticed it as I started filming. Sorry about that. But anyway, so last week was my first week of putting the whole week's plan into action. Not only did it work, guys, but did you see me take that sigh a minute ago? I was so much calmer throughout the week. I had a groove. Like I said, I hit my groove. I've got my little slow and steady. I know what I'm doing. I know what I need to do. I know what I mean, it was just awesome. And like I said, told you many times, I am a planner, but for some reason it's taken me a month and a half to get this planned out. But I do think that it's going to be something that moving forward I will be able to tweak as I need to. So I'm really happy for that. Now, like I said, it really did allow for me to get the things up on a much more timely fashion than what I wanted. There's still a couple of little hiccups, but that's okay, because, you know, just because it worked well last week doesn't guarantee it's going to work smoothly all the time. But that's all right. At least now I have a template by which to, you know, tweak here and tweak there depending on how things go. So, as I said, I feel like last week was much better for me. I hope the timing of my videos was much better for you. So, moving forward to this next week, what are we going to be doing? Well, let me just get my little handy dandy planned out calendar here and I'll share it with you. Alrighty, first off, this afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Twisted Fiber Friends will be at Froggy Went a Knitting's house, and I'll put it down there in the description box. Now, if you don't catch us live, that's okay, because when we go live, nothing gets cut out. But today I think is going to be a hoot, and I will go ahead and spill the beans and let you know why. We're going to have a granny square face-off. Now, without giving too much away, what I will tell you is that Froggy and I are both going to do the exact same old-fashioned granny square. But one of the things that we want to see is, does the size of, not the size, okay, yes, the size of the granny square, is it going to differ that much if we both use the same size hook, both of us use the same yarn? Because see, she's a knife holder and I'm a pencil crocheter. All right, in other words, what that means for those of you that are just now learning crochet, she holds her hook like a knife and I hold mine like a pencil. So we're just going to see. Now there's a few other little goodies going on with this little face off, and like I said, I spilled the beans that much. So that means there's a few little beans sitting there. But if you want to see what all of them are, you're going to have to come watch us. But if you're watching this after Twisted Fiber Friends has aired, that's okay, because you can go and see it anytime. But I would really appreciate you going over there and catching us, whether it's while it's live or if it's on the replay, because it's really going to be interesting, folks. I mean, I'm really excited for this one today. And then tomorrow, you'll be seeing my progress on my 4 Seasons mosaic that I'm doing with Michelle Mosaics and More. And speaking of her, she goes live every Sunday right after us. So we're on from 4 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, and then we're just going to do a froggy hop this week over to Michelle's house, and she'll be there showing off the 4 Seasons, talking about it, and just talking about all things mosaic and crochet. So if you're interested, please be sure and come and see us. And then, like I said, we'll froggy hop on over there. But again, if you miss us in the live, that's okay, because as soon as you get through watching the Twisted Fiber Friends replay, you can always hop right on over there to Michelle's and watch her replay as well. All right, Tuesday, I have a new stitch coming out for you. Now, it's one I've had in my books for, well, ever since I started my basic stitch series, which now I've just gone back to calling it stitches. It's a very simple stitch. In fact, if you can single crochet, chain, and get your yarn on your hook, I mean, you're good. But it makes such a beautiful textured piece, and quite frankly, folks, it becomes kind of mindless. Your hand just takes over and does it over and over again, and there are so many applications for it. Now, Wednesday, amigurumi, you'll get to see some more progress on my little bunnies. I showed you their heads last week. Somebody was commenting on, those are awful big heads. Well, like I told you, I'm using a 4-weight yarn and a 3.75 millimeter hook. That's my go-to when I'm going to do amigurumis, because anything much smaller than that, and it hurts my hands. They're getting old, so that just kind of comes with the territory. But you get to see the progress on my little bunnies. I hope you'll be there for that. And then on Thursday, I have another one of my own designs that I'll be sharing with you. Last week I finally got a hat that I've been working on for, honestly, folks, it took me just a couple of days to do it, and it took me just a couple of days to film it. But let's just say the technology gods were not on my side. So suffice to say, it did get out there, and if you have seen it, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, then you need to go back to last week's February the 8th My Makes, and I titled it I think think, Hat of the Month, or I think that's what it's called. I can't remember. But anyway, February the 8th. Shared with you some happy mail on Fridays, which is what my Fridays will be, either happy mail or things that I've purchased, books, that kind of stuff. And then this last week, and I have to give a shout out to Jenny. She was so sweet. I showed you my little sheep, granny square. And I had such a hard time reading the pattern. And it's not because I didn't know how to do stitch, folks. I can do popcorns all day long. But the popcorn wasn't working on this little lamb pattern that I had to go in the middle of my square. And it's just driving me nuts. Made me upset quite a bit. I'm not kidding you. Because I don't like it when patterns beat me. And this one beat me. So I had to do some modification, but it came out just as cute. But Jenny, man, why did your name just bebop out of my head? I will leave her name in my description box with a big old thank you. But anyway, she did reply to me in the video itself, and she said, if you go back and look up that book, there's a little notation saying there's an error there. And then she turned right to say that there are some errors in the book. And then, folks, she turned right around and sent me a link to the video of the very same little sheep square that I was trying to do. How sweet is that? I mean, she saw my struggles, and as far as I'm concerned, she went out of her way to help me with that. And I have watched the video, and it's like, well, the way it's done there is not how it's written in the book. But that's okay, because I will be making that little lamb again. Now, not this next week, because I got something else planned already. But I will be making it to show you that it can be done. And I'm going to make a notation in my book as to what needs to be corrected. So that's what I have for you coming up this next week. And of course, every single day you will be seeing your Be Still and Know That He is God devotionals every morning. Well, that really is all that I have for you. I hope you've made it this far into the video and kind of get an outline of what it is that I'll be doing. But of course, really, I guess you could just wait and see when the videos pop up from day to day and say, oh, maybe I will go see her. Oh, now I'm not interested in that. And quite frankly, you know what? I will step in here to say this for just a moment. As much as I would love it that you watched every single one of my videos when I pop up, I know there's going to be times when maybe the title doesn't catch you, or even if you get into it, it's like, well, all right, I'll leave her a thumb and go on. That's okay. I mean, we all have different tastes, and what interests us today may not interest us tomorrow, and that's okay too. I just hope that I'll be able to keep you entertained and interested enough that you'll come back at least once or twice. Alrighty? Well, like I said, I hope that you made it this far, because you know what I want to say to you next. Please remember, be that light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know, could be your light that they need to see. Now, that's the first thing I wanted to tell you. The second thing is, I love you guys, and thank you always for being here. See you tomorrow. Bye.